I'm whipping up some beef and bean burritos. This is one of those recipes that's almost not even a recipe. They are so simple. In fact, the first time I made them for Lad, it was totally on a whim. But he told me they were the best things he'd ever eaten, and I've been making them ever since. I've been browning some diced onion, and it's just perfect. And I'm gonna throw in 2 pounds of ground beef. I'll just smush it up and let it brown. All right, the meat is nice and brown, so I'm gonna season with some salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in some cumin. And then a little bit of chili powder, just to make sure everyone's awake. And then just a little oregano. All right, so I'll stir in the spices. Ooh, smells good. Now to the ground beef, I'm gonna add a couple of cans of Mexican red sauce. It's a little bit like enchilada sauce, but it has a really nice tomato flavor. I'm gonna pour in probably about 10 or 11 ounces and see how that looks. I don't want the meat to be swimming in sauce. I just want it to kind of lightly coat the meat. Okay, that just looks perfect. So I'm gonna turn the heat down to low and let the meat mixture simmer. And then I'm gonna throw some refried beans into the saucepan and get them warmed up. How good are refried beans? My goodness. Especially when they're topped with a whole bunch of melted cheese. Oh, one of my favorite things. All right, I'm gonna let those go over medium heat just to get warm. And then I'm gonna grate up some cheese. You can't have beef and bean burritos without tons of cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar because it gives the burritos a really nice flavor, but you can use cheddar jack, pepper jack, any old cheese you have. So I'm gonna add almost a cup to the refried beans. Oh, looks delicious already, and I'll just give that a chance to melt. All right, I'm gonna save the rest of the cheese for the end. So now I just have to assemble the burritos, and I'm gonna start by nuking the flour tortillas. I just need to get them nice and warm and soft. All right, to assemble, just grab a flour tortilla. You can use any size you want. And I'm gonna grab a nice amount of this cheesy, ooh, refried bean mixture. Not too much. If you get too much on there, you won't be able to roll the burrito. Just spread it out, and then I'll grab an equal amount of the meat mixture, put it right over the beans. And I don't have to add more cheese because the cheese is already in the beans. So I'll just tuck up the sides, roll one side over, and then just finish rolling it from there. All right, I'm gonna get the rest assembled and get them into a dish. Okay, so I still have some tomato sauce left, so I'm just gonna drizzle it lightly over the top of the burritos. I don't want the burritos to be swimming in sauce. It's just a little bit of added flavor at the end. And then have all this extra cheese. Now, I'm not gonna hold back on the cheese. You never can have too much cheese when it comes to burritos. All right, now I've just gotta put them back in the oven uncovered until the cheese melts. They're gonna be hot and bubbly, a little bit messy. That's what makes burritos good. And while that happens, I'm gonna tear up some cilantro leaves, and those will just get sprinkled over the top. Oh boy, look at that. Sprinkle on some cilantro, just adds a nice little freshness. And then I'll dish up some of the pico salad. This looks so good, and oh boy, they're home. Who wants burritos? Me.